What's up, guys? Welcome back to Nowstalgia. Dave here talking 2023 TV shows, the most anticipated shows of the year. There's a lot of them. We just had an amazing TV year in 2022. A lot of big, high profile shows, big surprises, shows people loved. And I think 2023 is going to be really good as well. I'm going to get into all those shows that I'm really excited about, both returning series as well as brand new stuff, franchise IP stuff, original stuff, more adult stuff, quite the range. You know, a lot's been made about the economic downturn affecting the streamers and the studios and the entertainment industry. There is going to be a slowdown in content spending, but I don't think we're going to feel those effects on the TV front in 2024. There will be a slowdown in terms of just the amount of shows made. You're seeing shows at Warner Bros. Discovery specifically being unrenewed, being canceled after being renewed. Right, a lot of news about that, but there's just so much stuff still in the pike being made or in the process of being made or being written that we're going to still have tons of stuff to be excited about in 2023, and maybe in the future we will start to really notice that the peak of peak TV has happened, but we're not going to feel that just yet. That being said, before I get into all the stuff I'm excited about in 2023, I think it's really important to note there are several high profile shows that will not be back in 2023. Shows people loved from the past year, a lot of big high profile stuff. And let's run through them real quick. Euphoria, Industry, Andor, Lord of the Rings of Power, House of the Dragon, Stranger Things, The Boys, The White Lotus, Squid Game, Black Mirror, as well as Dune the Sisterhood, which is a brand new series. None of those shows are coming out in 2023. They're all either not in production yet, don't have an announced production date yet, or some of them are in production or going into soon, but have really long, post productions due to the length of, CGI creation and whatnot. So we're not going to get any of those shows, and people love those shows, myself included. I'll be very excited to get probably almost all those shows in 2024, which would be very exciting. That being said, what we are getting this year uh, will be just fine. We got a lot of good stuff. And I think you have to start on the returning series front with the best show of 2021, Succession, back for season 4 in the spring. HBO has already confirmed. Obviously, we can't wait for that. But there's a lot of, I think, big stuff coming out this year that we've seen before. Obviously, The Mandalorian, March 1st, Loki, soon after. Disney has two, I think, big hitters there. Star Wars Vision season 2, probably less remarked upon, but also IP, right? Um, What We Do in the Shadows, Ted Lasso season 3 after a long production will be back. Only Murders in the Building season 3, Hack season 3, Perry Mason season 2 after a long wait, back on HBO. Yellow Jacket season 2, True Detective season 4. A lot of big stuff there. HBO dominating as usual. Severance season 2, Barry season 4, Tokyo Vice season 2 probably. Not positive about that one. It is in production. Winning Time season 2 on HBO. The final season of Marvel's Mrs. Maisel season 5 on Amazon. I think a lot of big stuff, a lot of shows that people have at least loved in the past, right? We get a lot of attention out of all that. The Bear, probably the biggest out of nowhere surprise of 2022, was made in 2022 and put out, right? It's a lot. It's just slower, quicker post production than obviously a big IP show. So there's a chance that The Bear will come out next year. It's going into production in February for season 2, so we'll cross our fingers on that one. Also, Fargo will be back for season 5, but that's in production through the end of April, so I don't think that's a lock. I guess in theory that could go through posts and come out in the fall. We'll see if that happens at FX. I'm not sure. Similarly, For All Mankind season 4 has been in production, I think, since the tail half of last year. But there's some effects on that Apple series, so we'll see. But I think that's a lot of like big, high-profile series stuff people like. So that's all pretty exciting. Um, in terms of new series, obviously on the IP front, everything is like kind of familiar, right? Like Ahsoka is new, but it's Mandalorian spin-off series. Still very excited about that. The continuation of the Star Wars Rebels story, we assume. On the MCU front, obviously Loki is coming back for season 2, but other than that, there's a bunch of, brand new, quote unquote, new series or limited series from Marvel. Secret Invasion, Ironheart, Echo, and Agatha, Coven of Chaos. I'm not really super excited about any of those series per se. I guess Secret Invasion could be fun. Ironheart, I have an open mind about it. I like Dominic Thorne's performance in Wakanda Forever. Loki's obviously the heavy hitter there. We'll wait and see. I think there's a bit of Marvel fatigue setting in on the TV front, given the very up and down quality of those series to this point. So we'll see how that goes when those shows come out. Um, I think more exciting than any of the Marvel shows would be the Boys spin-off on Amazon, The Boys Diabolical. This is the Boys spin-off series about superheroes going to superhero college, which sounds like an amazing setting for the world of The Boys. Can't wait for that. Also, technically a new series coming out very soon on HBO will be The Last of Us, which is a brand new series, but of course an adaptation of the famous PlayStation video game series. And I think just the pedigree that we're going to see from The Last of Us being created and show ran by Craig Mazin, coming off Chernobyl and starring Pedro Pascal and Bella Ramsey, just very exciting. The trailer looks very strong. Can't wait for that. Um, Other new series that we're getting that's not really IP, but a lot of these are adaptations. You have, I think, very excitingly on FX on Hulu, a show I've been looking forward to for a long time. It's been announced a few years back at this point, which would be the adaptation limited series of Shogun, the 1975 James Clavell novel that's starring Cosmo Jarvis, Hiroki Sanada, and Anna Sawai. And that, from everything I know about that show, it sounds uh, really exciting. As a period show. Um, yeah, FX has such an amazing track record that you have to believe in their ambition when it comes to tackling something so big like that. So really can't wait for that one. We don't have a date on that just yet. We do have a date though, end of January for Poker Face, a Peacock comedy series created by Ryan Johnson, starring Natasha Lyonne, which is a case of the week mystery comedy drama series. Looks like it's going to have lots of cameos, one episode appearances from big name actors. Obviously, I think everyone's on the Ryan Johnson train at this point with how Knives Out has been going, and Tasha Leone has been on a big heater as well with the 2 seasons of Russian Doll. So very excited about this one. Also, we don't really know too much about it, but Mrs. Davis is a new series for Peacock as well, starring Betty Gilpin, and is coming from Damon Lindelof, one of the greatest TV creators of all time. NBD, huge get for Peacock. Very excited to see that. Obviously, uh, we also have for HBO in association with A24, The Sympathizer, which is a adaptation of a novel as well from Park Chan Wook, coming off Decision to Leave, his last film from last year. Vietnam War period series starring Robert Downey Jr. and Sandra Oh, NBD. And it'd be nice to see RDJ back working again. Also for HBO Max, we have Full Circle, which is a new series from Steven Soderbergh with uh, Zazie Beetz and uh, Claire Danes, among others. Very excited about that one. Um, you know, Soderbergh, he's working. He's been working for HBO for a few years now at this point. Anything he makes, you got to watch. People know that at this point. Something we've known about for quite some time, coming out sometime in March, we don't have the date yet, is The White House Plumbers, which is a limited series on HBO about Watergate with Justin Theroux. Sounds awesome. And the trailer looks good. Also at HBO, no date yet, would be Sam Levinson's new series, The Idol, starring The Weeknd and Lily Rose Depp. We don't get Euphoria this year, but Levinson did make a whole other show. Trailer looks pretty interesting. You have Jenny Kim from Blackpink in a supporting role. Definitely excited about that. I think the Levinson brand, perhaps polarizing, but definitely interesting and worth checking out. Can't wait for The Idol. Um, I guess a pseudo sequel series for Apple, something coming sometime this year, is Masters of the Air, which is the Band of Brothers, the Pacific, like third follow up in that entry of World War II series. This time, as the name might suggest, about pilots in the Air Force. So that sounds pretty exciting. That'll be awesome, and that's notably on Apple this time around, not on HBO. Um, Also on Apple, we have Godzilla and the Titans, a legendary MonsterVerse going to the small screen. Um, Apple dropping the bag. That's definitely an expensive show, but could perhaps get up there as one of the biggest and most well liked IP series of the year because the legendary MonsterVerse has been going strong, and Godzilla versus Kong was a big hit back in 2020, or 2021. Sorry, Three Body Problem on Netflix definitely will get a lot of eyes. I don't know how good it'll be, but high profile adaptation from none other than Benioff and Weiss, their first series, their first work on their Netflix deal, their first big thing together after Game of Thrones. Obviously, a lot of people will be curious how that one goes. That is a series that recently also got adapted for Tencent over in China. So I'll be curious how people who have seen both feel about each series. Netflix is also giving us Avatar: The Last Airbender, the live action adaptation, which we've known about for some time. I think everyone's kind of waiting with bated breath for that because obviously their Cowboy Bebop uh, adaptation, live action, didn't go too well. Neither has really any of their other anime movies they've done live action. And also because, Avatar Studios over at Paramount is making more sequel series and movies regarding Avatar: The Last Airbender and Legend of Korra. Those are coming. So unless this live action series is like really well liked and done really well, I have a feeling it'll be rejected by the fervent Last Airbender fan base that we know is out there. So kind of waiting with bated breath for that one. We'll see. I'm not too sure. Um, yeah, I think that's probably like 50 shows, right there, more than most people will watch. I certainly won't watch everything I just listed, but it's a lot of big stuff, right? A lot of big IP stuff, a lot of big newer stuff from people you trust, like FX and HBO and even Apple at this stage. So we'll see, and of course, I'm sure there will be stuff that we're not thinking about that will show up and surprise us the way The Bear did in 2022. So, let me know, what series are you most excited for? What series are you not looking forward to at all in 2023? And which 2024 show do you wish was coming sooner because they're hard to wait for? Leave a comment below. And for more TV reviews, make sure you subscribe. See you next time.